Good morning, class. Hey, I'm getting into trouble here. This got really long, so I'm going to axe this warm up and go straight to the second slide, which says that you can solve a system of inequalities in more than one way. Remember, a system is nothing more than one inequality. We just did a couple of days on linear inequalities, and yeah, that does involve shading. So when you're doing systems, you're going to have multiple lines of shading with shading. And with the multiple lines, instead of having solid and hollow dots, we're going to have dotted lines for boundaries and solid lines. And they'll go with these inequalities that I'm drawing right here. And don't forget, in Excel, you can only paint once. So it's difficult. You've got to do the work on paper. Work out the system on paper because you only get to paint it once. So you'll only get to actually shade the system's solution where both inequalities cross. All right, so let's take a look at what that looks like. Let's take a look at this first one. I'm going to graph the second equation first because it's already set up. We will go with a green on here. We're going to plot at the y-intercept at 1, okay, which is right there. And then we will drop 1 and over 2, 1 and over 2, and we will put a solid line because that inequality okay, solid line there, and then we'll put 0, 0 into this equation and check it out, and that's going to be 0 here and 0 there. Greater than or equal to is 0 greater than or equal to basically 1, and no, it's not. So this would be a no on this side, and we're going to shade this side for the line. That'll be my inequality. Okay, I don't really like that, so let's pick a darker color. We'll go with red for this color, or this line, and I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, and that will give me a negative y greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 3. And then I got to get rid of this negative sign, so when I divide by a negative 1, what's going to happen to that inequality? If you're saying it's going to get flipped, you're absolutely right. It's going to go y is less than or equal to 2x, and then it's plus 3. Okay, so we'll come up here and put a dot at 3, and then it's going to be positive 2 over 1, positive 2 over 1, and we'll put a solid line again. All right, and then I will check, I'll check 0, 0 this time, and we'll look at it and stick it in there. So we'll go 0. Up here we'll go, let's go up into here. So 0 less than or equal to 2 times 0, that's 0, plus 3. So it's 0 less than or equal to 3, and that's yes. So this is a yes, so we would shade this side of our inequality. I'm going to shade in where those two overlap, and that's right there. And so that would be my solution. Now, here's what's tough. In Excel, that's the only time I get to dump the paint is right there. If I shade it after the first inequality and try to include this over here, it's going to have all kinds of problems. So in Excel, that's all I got. All right, let's go down to the next one. For this one, we're going to graph, well, let's graph this one in red, and we'll take at negative 1 down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay, that's the correct line here, and that's the correct line here. So they're both the correct line. But notice this one is shaded, looks to be below the line, because you get green over here, and this one is above the line. So let's take a look at it. Let's look at 0, 0 and see just where does it shade. There's 0, 0 there, there's 0, 0 there. We'll plug in 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to 0 minus 1? Is 0 greater than negative 1? And that's a yes. So 0, 0 should be a solution. This is yes over here. It works this way, but this is the wrong direction. Yes would be over here. They've graphed over here. So we can say it's not A, it's choice B, and be done with it by the first, or the second rather, equation. All right, last one, and then we're done. We'll come back and do the last one later. On this one, I would subtract an x on both of these, and that would give me y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. And I'd put a 2, and down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Again, it's a solid line. Give that a try. There we go. Okay. 0, 0. I'm going to check it out. So 0 greater than or equal to 0 plus 2 is 2. Is 0 greater than 2? No. So we'll shade up here for red. Okay, we'll change the color, go to green, and we'll do this one. We'll subtract 2x, and I get y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 5. I would go to 5 and put a dot, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. It's again a solid line. Okay, so, and then if I put 0, 0 for this one, I get 0 less than or equal to, put the 0 in there, that's 0 plus 5 or 5. Is 0 less than 5? And yes it is. So this is yes on the green, which is on this side. Now, where does it overlap? Well, that's a good question. Looks like it's overlapping right here. So it's this little wedge, and it keeps going as long as those lines go. So there's my solution. Hey, hang on in there. Don't forget, this is a lesson for Wednesday. We're going to have that group chat on Friday. I invited you in the email last night. Any questions, take a look at your emails. Hey, hang in there. See you later. Bye.